No. No!
My brother.
No. Alright, Loki, what are you knowing about? This Marvel Disney Plus whatever show doesn't get my story right at all. I don't know what they're doing. It's infuriating. Okay. Well, then why have you kept watching it for 4 hours? Well, you know, I like Tom Hiddleston. Yeah, who doesn't? Why did Zeus want to marry Hera? Why didn't he just hit it and quit it like he does with literally everyone else? Like, why get married at all with the kind of lifestyle he leads? She doesn't even like him. Why did he want to come home to that every single day? What was it about her that he had to have her more than anybody else in his life? What, does he like being insulted? Is he a masochist now? Zeus, you're already weird enough. Please don't get weirder. Why does everybody keep calling me a bitch? I only do my job, which is more than what can be said about most of the people I have to deal with. You realize that every time we run into each other, it's because of something you did, right? You realize that. So you ever stop to think maybe you're the bitch? That maybe you're the reason I have to keep showing up? No, you don't think about that, do you? Because it's so much easier to deflect blame than to actually make changes. And that's why you and I are going to have to keep seeing each other. Well, you know what? I don't like being around you either. Hey, what did Loki say when his daughter asked him to raise her allowance? Hell no. I love all of my children, okay? I do not pick favorites. I promise you are all equally important to me. Athena, Ares, Artemis, Apollo, Hermes, Dionysus, Hepatitis? Who named these kids? Hey! Here's something you might not know about Theseus. Everyone talks about how Theseus killed the Minotaur. We all know that story. But did you know that the Minotaur wasn't even the first villain that Theseus took down? Long before he had ever even heard of the Minotaur, when he was on his way to meet his dad for the first time, Theseus encountered a whole bunch of evil villains, including Periphetes, an evil bandit who would club people to death, Sinis, a man who enjoyed tearing people in half, a monstrous pig called the Chromionian Sow, Skyron, a robber who kicked people over the side of a cliff, Kerkion, a king who forced everyone to wrestle him to the death, and Procrustes, an innkeeper who would put people on a rack and stretch them to death. Theseus killed every last one of them. Rightfully so, as I think we can all agree. Watch out, Heracles, you've got yourself some competition. Dude, these Native American stories are fascinating. Have you heard of the Wendigo? You're not supposed to say that! What, Wendigo? He said it again. Yes, the Native Americans believe that if you say the creature's name, it will come after you. Yeah, I'm not worried about that. It doesn't matter how you feel. Out of respect to the Native Americans, you never say its name or write it or even think it. What? But then how are we ever supposed to spread their stories around? You don't! The only way to respect Native American culture is to completely ignore it and never say anything about it. Okay, that's just stupid. People should be allowed to research and talk about whatever the heck they want. No! Censorship is important! You need to make sure you never say anything that might cause any kind of offense to anyone! You know what? What? Wendigo. Uh-huh. I'm gonna go finish this book. It's way more fun than you are. Hey, you know how Arachne stays up to date with things? By spending a lot of time on the web. Brother, if you want to have a real relationship with your boy, you're gonna have to open up and tell him everything about your past. Everything? Everything. Okay, maybe not everything. So here's a mythical creature that you really have to see to believe, even if you don't want to. The Shirime from Japanese mythology. Yes, this is a thing. It's a pale dude with no face and an eyeball where his booty hole should be. Thanks for that, Japan. This was very needed. Funny thing is, this guy actually does wear clothes, but when he encounters someone on the road, he immediately strips down in front of them, bends over, and shows them his butthole eye purely for the fun of it. The original Flasher, I guess. These guys should go to New York. And apparently an ancient Japanese poet named Yosabu-san was such a big fan of this creature that he included it in several of his art pieces. Busan, is there something you want to talk about? Amazingly, this creature never actually seems to attack or hurt anyone. He just flashes them his butt eye. Japan, did we really need a whole monster just for that? What's next? A Japanese monster who just goes around poking holes in all the condoms at a convenience store? Hey, don't write that down, Japan. You know, one day, I'm gonna have a body just like the one Thor has in these Marvel movies.
Oh my god! Oh my god, it's
I did it! I've been stranded on this island for days with no food or water, and all I could find was this old oil lamp. Well, guess I'll start rubbing it for no established reason. Wait, what the heck? What? Thou hath summoned me. Holy crap, a genie! Indeed, sir, and I am prepared to grant you one wish, but one wish only, so think carefully before you— Make my dick bigger! Huh? You heard me. Is that really your top priority right now? Hey, I didn't wish for questions, buddy. Now make the schlong long. Hey, what is Hathor's favorite position in bed? Cowgirl. What if the gods had Tinder? I may be a bird brain, but I don't see you as ruler of the gods. I change my mood 3 times a day, but I bet you'll love my final form that could ram you tonight. Also, I have a huge boat. Mainly here to promote my new book, The Book of Thoth. Yes, it was named after me because I know everything. Also, I'm here to answer any question you may have, but only after an exchange. Be with someone who will be there for you after till death do we part. Must love dogs, and alligator, lion, hippos. Don't worry, he's harmless. Unless you lie to me. Career-wise, I judge people for a living. Spoiler alert for God of War 2. How the hell was Kratos able to kill the Sisters of Fate? Like, they're the Sisters of Fate. If we're operating under the assumption that they control everything that's going to happen, then that means that they're the ones who decided Kratos was going to kill them in the first place. Why would they do that? If we're not operating under that assumption, though, we are still under the assumption that they know everything that's going to happen, so they would know Kratos is going to come after them and kill them. So why didn't they immediately tell Zeus, hey Zeus, your attempt to kill Kratos isn't going to work and he's going to come for us, so please come to our area right after you finish stabbing him and protect us from him? Why didn't they do that? Did they want to die? Does their job just suck that bad? I don't know, what do you think? This is Jupiter, god of the sky and thunder, rules over Mount Olympus with an iron fist, and often forces himself upon any kind of woman he can find.
Are you having a laugh?
What?
He does exactly what I do.
Fun fact! Do you know why Friday the 13th is considered a day of misfortune? Well, there's actually multiple historic reasons, one of them being in Norse mythology, with Loki. See, when Loki orchestrated the death of Balder, he did so at a dinner party where he was the 13th member to arrive, thus being one of the main reasons 13 is considered an unlucky number. But doesn't stop there. There's also Christianity. See, at Jesus' Last Supper, there were 13 people present, and the day after that was his crucifixion on Good Friday. Friday and 13. But it doesn't stop there. In history, something that is considered to be a great tragedy is when the Knights Templar were arrested and tried as heretics. And on what day were they arrested, you ask? Well, the year was 1307, the month was October, and the date was Friday the 13th. How about that? Cowinkety-doo. I wonder if Voorhees knows any of this. Somebody should tell him. Not me. I ain't going near him. Wisdom with Mimir. The waitress is not interested in you. She's only flirting because she works for tips. Hey, why are people so interested in the 9 muses? Because they're very amusing. Hey Thor, us dwarves have decided to give you Mjolnir, the most powerful hammer in all existence. Wow, thank you. This thing is amazing. Yeah, but be careful, that thing requires immeasurable power to lift. Even you couldn't lift it without those strength-enhancing gloves. Wait, but then how did you guys lift it while you were making it? And how did you get it over here? Well... no one will notice that.